Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome back to another Adobe After Effects CS6 tutorial. My name is Buddy Blackford. We're going to be learning about layers in the next few tutorials, and I wanted to take this tutorial to explain the different buttons and different switches and what they do, and I wanted to explain them to you. They're on the same area as my mouse is right now, and I'm going to explain those. But first I wanted to show you something cool that I saw today on the internet. We're going to start having 4 terabyte SSDs pretty soon, so that's going to be awesome. Maybe the hard disk drives will pretty much become obsolete, so just keep a lookout for that. Hopefully they're not like $2,000 each, which I'm sure they will be at the beginning. But let's get on to figuring out what all this stuff even means. So we'll start from the left here. This is the basically show and hide button. I always just call it the eye, and that's what I'll probably call it in tutorials. So it just hides or shows a layer, and if you turn it off, it's not going to render. So when you actually render out your final project, things that don't have the eye on aren't going to render. This column right here is to turn your audio on or off, and it has the same effect as the eye, just for audio. And I think I do have an audio on here. Yep. And now you can see that I could turn this off, and if I try to play anything, it will never do that. This right here, this little circle, is the solo layer, and if I click on it, why did it? Oh, it turned my background off. Let's solo a different layer, because the squish is the same color as the background. It's gonna not be able, we're not gonna see it, so I'll just do this one. And now the tuna layer here is soloed. The background is the default color that you made your comp, so composition settings. And if I change this, now I can see. So these are both soloed now. Turn those off, and everything comes back on. The next one is the lock layer tool, or not a tool, it's a lock layer checkbox basically. And usually I put these on layers that I know I have finished and I don't want ever to be touched again. And the first one usually is the background that I always put it on. That way you're not able to drag it or click on click it off or anything like that. Actually, apparently you can click it off. So you just basically can't grab it and move it around in here, and you won't be able to grab it and move it around in the background. That was the adjustment layer that I was moving, which is this one right here. I just threw that layer in there just so I could explain this one later on. So the next over here is your label color, and you can edit those in your preferences. If we go to labels here, you can see that all my compositions will have the sandstone color. All my stills, like images and adjustment layers and backgrounds and stuff like that, will have the lavender color. I should change that. Change it to like a seafoam. Change the audio to a lavender, just for fun. There we go. Now it's a little more manly. This is just a layer order right here. We move over here. This is the layer name, obviously. And if we come over to this one right here, it is called shy. And layers that are set to shy are hidden from the timeline panel. So this is the shy layers button here. And if I hit it, you can see that the background is shied, as you can tell there, and I just shied a few other ones. And if I click on this button, they will hide from the timeline layer. Then you'll never be able to mess with them. It's almost kind of like locking. So the next one over is the collapse transformations or continually rasterize. So what you use that for usually is for compositions that are within your composition. So I am able to take this composition and put it in here, and then if it had certain elements in it, layers, different layers, and they weren't all showing up, you can click on this to make all the layers show up. Also, if you have a vector image like this chainsaw right here, if you click on it, it'll continually rasterize, which means, and I can just show you real quick, it's pretty nice and crisp because this is the default scale right now. And if I zoom in, you can see it's all blurry now. Well, if I hit this, now it's nice and crisp again. And that works on vector layers, and it also works on PDFs and SWFs and your text layers, shapes, and solids also. Hard to remember all those off the top of my head. I think that's all of them that you can continually rasterize. The next over here is the quality. Let me put this back down because this is annoying me. The next one over is the quality, and if I click on it, it'll change to draft. If I unclick on it, or if I leave it on the solid line, that's best quality. So let's see if it works usually on like vectors, and let's see if it works on the tuna or not. Yeah, it works, but you can barely see it. It'll help with your rendering within the comp times. So when you want to do like a RAM preview or something like that, and you have these at a lower quality, it won't take as long to create the RAM preview.